Welcome to the McAllister Report. We join John McAllister, top football evaluator, as he shares wisdom and interviews coaches and athletes from around the country. Enjoy today's podcast.
Hello, I'm John McAllister with the John McAllister Report. Today, we're going to go around the state, and this is the first one I've ever done of interviewing the coach on the upcoming season. And today, my first guest is from Carey High School, Jonathan Mershman. He's been there as an assistant for 11 years, and I think this is his 7th year as the head football coach. And 2 years ago, Carey won the state championship with a record of 15-1. And so I'm just interested how they get that program going so well, and also what he has coming back for this fall. So if you'd sit back and enjoy my first ever video podcast on a preseason team, the Carey Blue Devils. My guest today is Jonathan Mershman from Carey High School, head football coach. And as I looked earlier, did some background, we have some mutual friends. He's from Ottawa Glandorf High School. Ken Schreiner, did you play for Ken Schreiner? Great man, very good friend of mine. Well, good friend of mine, but he's an awfully good football coach. Now, if you came from Ottawa Glandorf, you must be tough, okay? You must be tough because they have to be, right?
Yeah, I mean, especially when Schreiner first started out, you know, he wanted to establish a program, and big thing was playing defense and having a solid run game. So, yeah, you had to be tough to play for him.
And then you went to Bluffton College, and you played a long snapper as a freshman.
Yeah, I was a long snapper as a freshman. And that's how I made the traveling squad to start. But then sophomore year, I started at safety and then also was still the long snapper.
Okay, that's really good. And then your whole life has been tough guy stuff. So you fit right in at Carey.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Carey's tough guy stuff. And I love the town now. When I was younger and, you know, I wasn't a great Carey fan, but I am now. Okay, that's really good. Upper Sandusky Carey. Now, I would tell you that we had to drop the series because we beat you all the time, but that's a long time ago, Coach.
Yeah, I'm going to say lately we've been fortunate enough to own the series right now, you know, the last few years. But it's a tough game every year to win that game. And last year they gave us everything we could handle. You know, we were fortunate to pull it out at the end. So I don't expect anything different this year. That's going to be a really hard game.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's talk about 8th season.
No, I'm going into my 7th as the head coach.
Okay, and you were there at 11 as an assistant coach, right?
Yes.
And there were some really good football coaches come through the Carey system before you.
Oh, yeah.
My goodness.
I know the history.
I'm sure you do. I will tell you one funny, then we got to get to work here. Well, Tom Geschwin was a really good friend of mine, and really good friend. And they won the state championship. Well, the next summer, they're talking about winning it again. I mean, right now, like it was a done deal. He used to laugh about that. And he was a very good Carey football guy. So, sounds good. Okay, state championship 2 years ago, right?
Yep, 21.
And then 15-1, and then last year 11-1, and
Yep.
You've got it rolling. Okay, what about and your schedule? By the way, am I correct? You've got Hopewell, Galleon, LCC, and Eastwood.
Not Eastwood. We have Winford. Would be game 4.
Who is it?
Huh?
What's the game for?
Winford.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Our league play.
That's still a tough opening schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, those are good programs. Good programs.
Hopewell has a tremendous program with Concatriglio. Galleon was full juniors last year, so they're going to be real tough. And then LCC was a Final Four team last year, and the quarterback back, and he's a monster.
Yeah. Where do you play them? At your place, right?
We play LCC at our place. The other two are away.
Okay. Coach, what do you and Carey, you've got it going. What do you attribute to that? What do you attribute to Carey going, I don't know, 26-2, and even before that? That's tough to do. What's the one main thing, Jonathan, that you attribute that to?
Tradition.
Yeah. They believe that, don't they?
They got it.
Yeah.
And, it goes from great-grandfathers all the way down. We got guys that want to play football the right way, and are willing to work. And when you have those things just embedded in the community, it's really easy to get it out of them on Friday night.
That's really good. That's good. I went through that with Coach Mike Malk at Kenton, because he's a very good friend of mine, and Kenton had the same thing. They knew they were going to win somehow. And you guys must have a little bit of that someplace.
Yeah, except my senior year, we beat them at our place. So.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about what seniors did you lose, Jonathan?
We lost. I'm going to start with Landon Kimberly, our 4-year starter at linebacker. I think he was 3-time All-Ohio linebacker for us. He was a monster for us, and that one's going to hurt a little bit going into this year. 4 years in a row, that position was already done. We didn't have to worry about it. He was going to play that same position, and he was just going to kill it. So we lost him. And then I would have to say Lance Rickle, our quarterback, we lost that last year. And then we lost E.J. Bowes, who was an outside linebacker tight end for us. And then we lost a few, like Brock Bushong, our center. We had some seniors. We had some dudes that we lost. Gage Summit. All these guys could all play, and they're hard-nosed kids. And so we lost some seniors that are going to be really tough to replace. But I think we've got some eager seniors coming into this year, and some sophomores and juniors that are looking to fill those spots.
Good, and they've been there. Okay, can you name just a few of the seniors to be?
Right now, seniors to be, we have the Putnam twins, Nick and Alex Putnam. They've got a lot of playing time for me.
Are those guys seniors finally? It seems like the Putnam kids have been around forever.
They're seniors. Got Carter Smiley, who was a starting safety for us on that state championship year as a sophomore. We got Butch Broadman, who was a starting defensive line for us on that championship team. So we got those main characters back. And then you got a lot of guys that got a lot of playing time last year for us. We got 4 offensive linemen returning. I'm really excited about those 4 offensive linemen.
They're coming back?
Yeah, 4 of them coming back.
Okay.
They're my dudes. The 4 offensive linemen coming back. Offensive line are my guys. So I got to give those 4 a shout out. You got Jonah Peters, you got Matt Almong, Mitch Bowes, and then you got Landon Mitchum are the 4 that are returning on offensive line. And I can't say enough good things about those guys because we don't go anywhere without our offensive line.
Coach, there's a little saying, as I was a coach many years ago, if you can block, you can score. If you can't block, you ain't going to score. And I think the offensive line is so important.
Yeah,
important.
We got to move the ball.
Especially at your level.
And I'll take 3 yards every play because fourth and short. My community already knows I'm going for it. So
no, wait a minute. The bone was popular before you got there, right?
Right.
I don't see you lining up in the wishbone anytime. I'm joking with you. And it was very successful. But they were successful. But it's a little different offense right now. How about defensively? anybody jump out and at you? Your free safety's got to be pretty decent, doesn't he? That if he started as a sophomore.
Yeah, well, he'll be moving to our strong safety position. So we'll need to find a free. But I got a couple guys that are really eager to try to fill that spot. Really, right now, the strength of our defense is our linebackers. We got a lot of guys with experience coming back there. The two Putnams, Connor Norden, and we got a couple young guys that are vying for that fourth spot for us. But I think our strength is going to be our linebackers, and then led up front by Butch. He's going to be a 3-year starter for us at defensive line. And
who's that, Coach?
Butch Broadman,
Okay.
Nathan Broadman. He's a terror up front, and last year he got a lot of double teams, triple teams. He already knows it going into this year, so he's ready for it.
What are you in the even front, the 4-4, or what are you playing?
We're base 5-2.
Okay. Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's good. And then plus you move out of it and all those other kind of things too.
Yeah.
Sure. Because I travel so much, I don't get to see much local football. But I saw you had a player a couple of years ago, big lineman. I think you and I talked about him. He went to YSU, Youngstown State.
Yep.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. Just talked to him, I think, about a week ago. He's excited for this season. He's pretty confident that he'll end up making the travel team at the very least.
Yeah.
So I think he took a red shirt last year, I believe, and he's excited. I said, you make travel team, you go down to Ohio State to play them. I'll be there. So it looks like I'm going to take a trip to Ohio State and watch a Ohio State Buckeye game against Youngstown State.
Coach, the amazing thing, and you can tell so many players this, Youngstown State's not a Mickey Mouse school.
No.
In fact, they play in the conferences. The MAC schools won't play those guys because the conference is so tough.
Yeah.
So you think of Youngstown State, that's not necessarily a drop in total. Well, they're playing Ohio State for now. It'll be a tough game, but they're still playing them, for heaven's sakes.
And they got a kind of a famous guy hanging around there at Youngstown State.
That's really good. That's okay. Okay, this is a question I like. This is the first one I've ever done. So you're the first guy that's ever done a video preseason podcast with me. So I have some silly questions too. Do you have one or two guys on your special teams that when you sign them, you put those guys first? They know they're going to be. They bust their butt. Do you have anybody like that? A younger guy even that you can count on them to go full speed and everything like that. Is that?
Yeah. Usually every year I talk to a freshman coach, and they give me input on who they think is going to be a sophomore to watch, and we kind of start with that with our special teams. We try to get some younger guys on there, but they got to also prove it. And yesterday we had a drill, it was our special teams drill, to kind of find out a little bit who can do those activities that you need to do, kick off and
that's really good.
Make a tackle. And so we got a couple guys that we got an eye on right now, but like I always try to keep them working, so I don't like to say they don't know.
That's fine. I just sometimes there's just some younger guy or a senior that just jumps out at you, and that's really a motivational thing. Okay, as you look back and you start all winter, this is a silly question, but what are your goals this year besides winning the state champ, winning the league conference? What are your set down for your goals with your players?
Other than the ones that you already said, I mean, really, our focus every year is making ourselves better week in and week out. Yeah. I mean, you can go stats or anything like that. I don't like any of that stuff. No. So my goal is, did we get better this week? Are we getting better? And that was the biggest thing with our state run was I felt like we got better every single week. And so then it showed up at the end. So we're just trying to find the right pieces, where everybody fits, have a little bit of fun, but get better every day.
That's great. It's really what I wanted you to hear. I mean, years ago, I had a guy ask me how many games I thought I could win. I said, I don't know. Hope they'll tell me which ones I have no chance.
I don't win any games. The players win the games.
I know. I know. That's very true. Very true. Couple questions for you, and then this is a great interview. Okay. For you personally, what aspect of coaching or coaching football do you get the most excited about? You know, what part of coaching do you get? Probably not, getting up early on Saturday morning and looking at video or looking at video all night, probably. But what do you get excited about, Coach?
The player that finally gets it, when that switch happens and they're just playing at a whole nother level, they understand what they need to do. When you really know that player understands their role and what to do on the team, and you see it when they play, that's fun for me. That's what keeps me coming back every year, is that moment where the kid, you just, whether it's a quarterback or running back, and just, when they're just playing at a different level than everybody else, and watching them do that, it's just extremely fun for me.
The light comes on for them.
Yes.
And that's, I ask, when I do interviews with players, I ask them that question, when did the light come on? And everybody's got an answer. I mean, when I had to step up and things like that. Okay. One for the coaches. What's the strongest quality or strength an assistant coach must have?
With me, it'd probably be thick skin and willing to do other things. I mean, those are really the main ones, because I can help you with the X's and O's. I can help you watch film, how to watch film. I can help you with those things. But, when the bullets start flying, I get a little animated, I get a little aggressive, I get a little intense. So if you're not willing to be able to take some of that intensity and understand that I'm not mad at you personally, I'm mad at what the action was. And you got to have the thick skin to know that it's not personal. It's the action and what I need the outcome to be. And willing to go, like I said, willing to do other things. Don't just, hey, these are my assignments. These are the only things I'm going to do. Yeah. We got guys coming and going as coaches that, hey, they got families and stuff. They got to go to a doctor's visit with their young one. And so somebody's got to pick up that slack that day. And it can't always be me. So guys that are willing to, hey, I'll fill up water today. That's not my job, but I'll fill it up. I'll go do ice tubs, whatever it is, out, tape ankles because the trainer's not here today, stuff like that.
That's super, Coach. Well, Coach, this is where you won me over. Now, I'm an old guy, okay? This is where I was reading an article when you were beaten last year by Colonel Crawford. And you were talking about it at the end, and about during, things that went wrong and where they were strong. But the last sentence in that article said, you said they were just give them credit, they were a better football team, or they were, give them a lot of credit, they won the game. They did a great job, and you were able to compliment them.
Yeah.
I thought that was huge.
I mean, we did some things that we weren't proud of in that game. Jumping off sides on fourth down, stuff like that. But in that moment, in that game, Crawford was just better than us in that moment.
In that moment, yeah.
I would love to have played them 10 times, because I think we could have, but that's not how football works. You play it once. You don't have games, 7-game series. You don't get to come back at them and try again tomorrow night, like basketball or anything else, So you got one game. You cannot let another team be better than you in that moment. And they were better than us in that moment.
Coach, thank you very much. for this podcast. I was really happy about it. And the other thing is, my last question would be, how many games do you think you can win this year? I'm joking. I'm joking with you.
We're playing Hopewell week 1, and that is our focus, and the rest will be the rest.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thanks.